After The Meg 2 splashed into theaters, all eyes immediately shifted to the big question: will there be a Meg 3? The first movie, based on Steve Alten's novel, hit in August 2018 and surprised everyone by becoming a late summer hit, raking in over $530 million worldwide. That kind of money made a sequel inevitable, with more giant prehistoric sharks crawling out from the ocean's depths to terrorize the modern world, while Jason Statham's Jonas Taylor tried to stop them. Meg 2: The Trench finally arrived and kept the Shark Attack franchise alive. Even though critics weren't exactly kind, audiences showed up, and the ending of the movie left things wide open for another round. It proved there's still plenty of room for a lighthearted, semi-serious monster franchise where the goal is simple: big sharks, big action, big fun. The first film was directed by Jon Turteltaub, but The Trench switched things up with indie filmmaker Ben Wheatley in charge. His unique take gave the sequel a different flavor and made it an interesting evolution for the franchise. With Statham back leading the cast, the movie leaned into its own over-the-top charm while also setting up more possibilities for the Meg 3. As of now, there's no official green light. Whether or not the trilogy gets wrapped up depends heavily on the money side of things. The budget for The Trench reportedly landed somewhere between $150 and $200 million, meaning it needs to hit close to 400 millions globally just to be considered a success. That's not impossible, especially since the first one crossed $500 million, but the mixed reception could make it tougher this time around. Looking ahead, the future of the Meg franchise feels like it's only getting started. Ben Wheatley and his team seem ready to dive even deeper into the unexplored corners of this underwater world, and there's still so much potential to unleash. The next films could go bigger with the mythology, maybe even finally explain where these massive creatures came from, while also introducing new species that push the spectacle to insane new levels. There's even room for spin-offs or prequels, taking us all the way back to the very first Megalodon, which would give fans a fresh angle while keeping the franchise alive and exciting for years to come. If a third movie happens, chances are it will pull from Steve Alten's third book, Primal Waters. That story catches up with Jonas Taylor years after his first run-ins with the Meg. He's older now, carrying the scars of the past, worn down by regret and even struggling financially. Jonas thought his days of staring down prehistoric monsters were long gone, but life throws him one more curveball when a slick reality TV producer offers him a spot on a new series about ocean predators. It's not the kind of gig he dreamed about, but the paycheck could change his family's future, so he signs on. Naturally, once the cameras roll and the crew heads into deep water, things go south fast. The Megalodon isn't just alive, it's more vicious than ever. This chapter mixes big summer blockbuster thrills with more character depth than we've seen before. Jonas isn't the fearless young diver anymore. He's a survivor haunted by everything he's endured, a man dealing with aging, fear, and the weight of responsibility. Alten also packs the book with plenty of real ocean science, which makes the setting feel alive, unpredictable, and terrifying. But what really raises the stakes is that it's not just the Meg this time. Primal Waters introduces another prehistoric monster, the liopleurodon. Imagine a giant marine reptile that once fought with the Meg for dominance in ancient oceans. Fast, brutal, and just as deadly. Throwing that beast into the mix would completely change the game on screen, turning the ocean into a battlefield where multiple apex predators are fighting for supremacy. For the humans caught in the middle, it wouldn't just be a survival story anymore, it would be total war. If the movie follows the book's lead, fans are in for a ride that's darker, more intense, and easily the most epic chapter yet. Expanding the Meg universe with new creatures and stronger emotional stakes feels like the natural next step. The liopleurodon alone would raise the danger to a whole new level, making Meg 3 not just bigger, but bolder. With Ben Wheatley steering the vision and Jason Statham locked in as Jonas, the franchise is in a strong position to push the limits of what these films can be. The deep ocean still holds plenty of mysteries, and the next installment could lean harder into the science, exploring biology, evolution, and behavior of these ancient predators, or even unveiling brand new species, wouldn't just boost the action, it would give the story more weight. The stakes could be raised visually, emotionally, and intellectually, making the thrills hit harder. And then there's the wildest possibility of all, these monsters leaving the ocean. Imagine a megalodon assaulting beaches or prehistoric giants wreaking havoc on coastal cities. That shift would crank the tension sky high, turning the series into something closer to apocalyptic action. It's the kind of game-changing twist that could take Meg 3 beyond being just another creature feature and transform it into a smart, high-octane blockbuster that blends fear of the unknown with the limits of science and humanity's fragile balance with nature. For now though, nothing is set in stone. There's no official confirmation or release date for The Meg 3, but talks are already happening behind the scenes. Director Ben Wheatley has hinted at ideas, and while the studio hasn't announced a trilogy just yet, they also haven't shut the door. Ultimately, the future of the franchise depends on how The Trench performs at the box office and on streaming. If a third movie does move forward, expect to see the core cast back again. Jason Statham is obviously the anchor, with his action star persona driving the character of Jonas Taylor as he takes on these massive sharks head-to-head. Alongside him are Cliff Curtis as Mac, Sophia Kai as Mei Ying, and Paige Kennedy as DJ, who all survived the chaos of the second film. Together, they've become the steady team at the heart of the franchise, and it's hard to imagine a Meg 3 without them.